viewers, it's so good to have you on the Current TV show. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Frida Okeria, and I bring the show to you on the basis of the current issues. And there are several trending issues in Nigeria, but we're going to be particular about one. That one is corruption. Corruption is biting deep. Last 2 weeks we talked about, we broke down the Transparency International evaluation of Nigeria's status in corruption, and it has actually gone up. Other international bodies analyzing and assessing Nigeria has proven that corruption has been the cause of our problem after the colonial era. So we're going to be discussing corruption, an endemic trait in Nigeria, possible way out. And guess what? I have one unique party who happens to be a new party. I think their formation is not up to 2 years, or one thereabout. They're going to be talking about this issue. They are called the oath-taking party. They believe that you cannot take public or assume public office without taking an oath, swearing before God and men that you will serve and not be corrupt, taking money. I'm going to give some basic details about corruption. Corruption is an endemic trait eating deep into Nigeria. From 2 years old to the oldest in the country, as old as 2 years, okay, as young, or rather, it's 2 years. We stop to think that thinking, acting, and being corrupt is right. That's why we think that acting corrupt, we are engrossed with that impression that being corrupt is just normal. Imagine, okay, take for example, somebody misplaces his phone, for example, maybe in a cab, and the cab person calls and returns the phone to the real owner, and the cab man will be expecting that, because I bring your phone for you, you should give me something. It is corrupt idea. It is corruption. Oh, you will now say, okay, what if the person had gone with the phone? That person is a thief. There's no two way about it. You are a thief. There's a difference between a thief and a corrupt person. If you found someone's phone and you return the phone to the person, you should not expect a dime. Collecting money for one or two things is not necessary. It's not necessary. It's actually not necessary. So I don't know. There are certain things that we have come to understand or come to know. That, for example, if a governor visits your community, maybe you're from Edo State and the governor visits your community in Europe, and you expect that he scatters money, that's wrong. And you're holding him tight, saying, Governor, do something now. These little things. I think from the young to the old, we have a system that is not working. Now, the question is does the solution to corruption, does it lie in the government? If the government is free of corruption, does that mean Nigeria as a country will be free from corruption? No. Now, what is the cause? It has become so much a gene, transferred from generation to generation. These days, youth believes that you just have to make money. When you hammer, people will respect you. That's the idea. When you hammer, that's the idea. Everywhere. I don't want to care how you hammer. I don't want to care how you make it. Just make the money, people respect you. That's corruption. Thinking like that is a corrupt act. Acting it, because when you're corrupt, you definitely act. You become treacherous. You become wicked. It takes a lot. And the older people are not even helping. You hear examples like, the man not give your pikin, the man did not give your child his child to you. It's because you don't have money. Okay, when you have money, you now go and make money, then you come back to the man, the woman you love. The man will now tell you, oh, now you have made money. These are the things the old is teaching us, that the money, no matter how you make it, just make it. That's corrupt. I wish we could just get our mind twisted and get our understanding better. We just need a 360-degree turnaround in our mentalities, from the old, from the government, down to the civil servants, down to that woman selling tomatoes on the street, pepper, and all of us needs to be corrupt-free. We'll take a short break, and after this break, we'll have the personalities of Justice Must Prevail Party tell us, okay, fine, every party I've tried, APC came and said we don't like the system, there's so much corruption, and we are going to fight. We believe we are fighting corruption because the EFCC and the ICPC that had not been working during the time of Jonathan, as now, as per now, is now active and working, but yet the Transparency International said we are corrupt. Transparency International said Nigeria is ranked 145 out of 180 countries. That's 28 over 100. We are corrupt. Compared, it's like the highest corruption rate in the last decade. That's bad for us. So for a country that seems to be fighting corruption is bad. But yet we have some people who says we know the way, we know what to do, we have the solution to handling corruption in this country. After this short break, I'll bring to you these persons. And in case you're just joining us, this is the current, and we have been talking about corruption, possible way out. And I told you I have the oath-taking party. I have the Justice Must Prevail party. I don't know what to say, but I think they have a lot to say. I have with me 3 persons from Justice Must Prevail. I have the chairman, the acting chairman, Justice Must Prevail, Mr. Olusegun Jagbe. Sir, you're welcome to this program. Yes, it's Dr. Olusegun, I beg your pardon. Jagbe, sir, you're welcome to this program. I also have Madam Sarah Jubro, who is the Mother of Nations. She is part of this party. Ma, you're welcome to this program.
Thank you.
And we have the Zonal Chairman, Northwest of JMPP, Aliu Salim. You're welcome to this program.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for joining us. The oath-taking party, tell us. Most international bodies, for example, Transparency International, has rated Nigeria high on corruption. Now the question is, how did we even get here? I'll start with you, President. How did we get here?
Thank you. Nigerians are not unique in corruption. Corruption is a worldwide and a global phenomenon. Corruption is a spiritual disease in the life of human beings, and it is the endemic nature of it that has called for attention in Nigeria. Corruption is found everywhere, among the police, among the civil service, among the civilians, among the private sector. So corruption is a disease that is embedded. It's like a virus. It is not a thing that should be fought, as we have been seeing on television. Corruption must be uprooted totally in order to have meaning. And that is what Justice Must Prevail Party is set out to do, to totally and completely wipe out corruption out of the history of Nigeria. And this is a thing that will bring love to Nigerians. It will bring development, because the funds that are generated will be available for development. It will be available for investment. It will bring love among every ethnic nationality. And Nigerians will be united when corruption is removed.
Now, the chairman said corruption, the way forward is that corruption should be removed, and Justice Must Prevail Party has what it takes to remove corruption. Okay, fine. How, I'm coming to you, the zonal chairman, how does JMPP intend to free Nigeria of corruption?
That's a very good question, and thank you very much for asking me. God created us to serve Him. And if we drain from serving Him, definitely He will stay far away from us. But He is always there. We can go back to Him at any time, and definitely He will redeem us from our problems. There are some yardsticks to measure if you fear God or not. The yardstick is, you try yourself with money. If you cannot be honest, you don't fear God. You fear poverty more than God. So to do away with corruption totally, you have to be afraid of God. Let me give you an instant. I have some money with me here. This is 500 naira. Can you use it? If I will, like, kind of, how do you feel in your mind? You feel bad, isn't it? You thought I tore it. No, it's still clean. I didn't tear it. But I can sit here, concoct lies to you. You will buy it. You won't even feel anything. You won't feel I'm hurting God, as in I'm committing sin. You understand? So for we to get rid of corruption, we have to be faithful to God. That is number one. Secondly, we have to get rid of the self-centeredness that we are born with. If you have a toddler, anything that belongs to you, as in anything that the toddler is opportune to play with at home, belongs to that toddler. It's mine whenever you wanted to collect it from him. That is to tell you that you were born with that self-centeredness. So, for us to get rid of corruption, we must grow maturedly, fully matured, by getting rid of the self-centeredness that we were born with. Our actions, our attitude must not be for only ourselves alone, must be for others, everybody. So JMPP is now telling you to be what? Selfless.
Thank you very much, Mr. Aliu. This question
goes to Madam.
Madam, thank you for joining me. This is Madam Sarah Jubril, one-time presidential candidate. Now, Madam, what manifesto does JMPP have? Okay, now Mr. Jubril has said that, okay, you have to fear God before you can be free from corruption. Fine. That is known, and some people believe that even if you fear God, does not mean you cannot be corrupt. What does JMPP have on ground to really eradicate corruption?
We are discussing an unfortunate situation or phenomenon. But if there is a problem, the first step to deal with the problem is to prevent it. So the manifesto of JMPP, first of all, one, it puts the Almighty God first. It puts the oath on the ground that you will have to commit yourself, that you will not steal 1 naira, you will not shed human blood, you will not do homosexuality, you will not cheat, and so on and so forth. 12 pillars of oath. Now, going back to prevention, we do know prevention is better than cure. And Malam Ali was talking about toddler. Toddler is like a small tree to be grown by an institution called the family. The institution was created by God to raise and to garden, to nurture first the human conscience. So for the manifesto of JMPP is to make sure that the basic needs of human beings are understood by the symbol of our party. We have man and woman that represent the family. This word misrepresents the word we have of responsibility, discipline, as well as instructions, authority, for the family to know that God, fear that God, teach that God, and they live it practically, consistently, and they know the type of education that will evolve. Therefore, these people that are being nurtured will become leaders tomorrow that will teach. The main thing they need to know is to become leaders that will teach good character leaders. We call them ethical leaders that would ensure that they respect the oath of the country, the oath that they are going to take, that they will be politicians and leaders and would not contravene or disobey the Constitution. Therefore, the place of the family is paramount next to the Almighty God's instructions in the JMPP, and therefore we are focusing to meet the basic needs. The business of God is to care for His creation, taking care of the basic needs of the human beings. But now it is not about infrastructures, it is about the character emanating from the conscience of the young people all the way to youthful age, and then to take responsibility as young people and take leadership, prevention, preparation, training. Take it. The most important role of a leader, parent or anybody political, is to teach character.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Sir, the acting president, ahead of 2019, in all this we are looking at 2019. Madam says there's an oath to 12 oaths of alliance to God that you swear before you take any political responsibility. What's the strategy of JMPP ahead of 2019 to take over the presidency from presidency and every other political portfolios?
Well, like Malam Aliu said, the first thing you have to do in JMPP is to accept that you are into a selfless service, a service that you are not allowed to enrich yourself by 1 naira. You know, you are dedicated to the nation. You are to have that in your mind, that you are into a new leadership, that you offer your body as a sacrifice to the nation. Because the oath you are going to swear, if you steal 1 naira, you are going to die. That oath is more potent than the one that is kept on women, whereby if you touch them, it is called magun. If you touch a woman that has magun, nobody takes you to court. The husband doesn't even know you have done this. It's just that you have violated the rule of the oath, so you are a dead man. Same thing with our 12 pillars of oath. When it is undertaken, which many of us and virtually all the leaders have already dedicated themselves to, then it is impossible for you to steal 1 naira. Nobody needs to see you. Immediately you steal anything because you have already committed yourself that the earth upon which you stand barefooted and the sun that is shining upon you as you are taking the oath and the blood of the innocent Nigerians that have been shed in this nation should bear you witness and send you to the grave for stealing 1 naira. Nobody can dare it. It is the strongest ever, because the earth does not judge by giving mercy. The sun does not judge by giving mercy. If you are praying and saying, "So help me God," you see, God is a merciful God. So we have been praying the prayer of the oath of wishes,
grace,
of grace. all this while. These are in case you commit crime, then you say it is God that didn't help you. This time around, you will tell the earth to swallow you up in case you steal 1 naira. So all missed targets. It is an oath that will dedicate the life of every JMPP to serve this nation. And we are going to rebuild this nation as if nothing ever existed. Because all the roads are temporary, the electrification is temporary, even the infrastructures are temporary. We are going to bring in technology that can help to administer this nation. Technology is being used elsewhere for development. It will assist human decision making. And it will also enhance institutions to be corruption free, to enhance policing system, the security system. For example, our borders shall be impenetrable under JMPP. You cannot move human beings across, just the way you are doing now. And then today you move 100 guests, tomorrow you move 200 guests, another day you move 500. You will not move anybody. And Nigerians will be safe, Nigeria will be secured, every nationality will be protected. Beyond that, in order to secure the nation of Nigeria, JMPP is to give 10% of all the income that enters the pocket of Nigeria. It is called national income. Or the income that enters the pocket of Nigeria, 10% of it are to be given to the poor, namely the widows, people with disabilities, people that are called almajiris, the orphanages, and people above 70 years old, the priests and the imams. They were to share this amount of money every year. It amounts annually to excess of $50 billion. If this is given in 2 years alone, there will be no poverty in Nigeria. JMPP, within 2 to 3 years, will wipe out poverty in the entire nation. Under JMPP, there will be zero unemployment, because everyone will be organized into a cooperative system. If you have nothing in your hands to do, you will be encouraged to go and learn something, and then you will be within a system that can encourage you. You produce, and your product is consumed. And everything that is still coming, we are yet to see. There are so much riches of this nation is yet to be unveiled. Only one of them has been sent for us to test. God gave us a lot of crowd. How did we react? We started killing ourselves because we were not prepared for it. God has prepared JMPP how we will make the Fulani man to be comfortable, we will make the farmer to be comfortable, we will make everyone that has trade to do to be comfortable. And that is why JMPP has come to bring peace and unity and progress and development to Nigeria.
We're supposed to take calls. I don't know if you can take one call. Technical department, please just put up the phone line. Let's see if we can just take one call. Let's see if we can take one call. We're supposed to take calls, but we are really out of time. We are really out of time. We call you the oath-taking party. Thank you so much for joining me. So how has been the response of people to the taking of the oath? The oath, the 12 pillars of oath.
It's amazing that a lot of people were. It took them with excitement. Some people who have their hands in some satanic issues come up with arguments against. We will just simply say the oath is taken with the Bible and the Quran according to your faith. But the sun, the light to the entire world, and is witness. The earth is a witness, and therefore I think Mala Ali might just want to add a little word that he, as a young man, is the rescue point for the next generation.
Let's just take one call. We don't have that time. Hello.
Uh-oh.
We don't have the time. If we can't take much calls, then we'll just round up from here. We don't have much time because our guest didn't come quite early. Thank you so much for joining us on this program. My contact access is going to be on your screen. You can call the phone. The phone after now, the other. And you can access according to, sir, please say that.
You can access more information about Justice Must Prevail Party on our website, www.jmpp.ng.
Thank you so much for joining me. I truly do appreciate it. And these are my contact address. You can call that number. It's going to be open immediately after this program. Then Facebook, like our page on the Current News. You can also check us on Twitter, the Current News Nigeria, and on Instagram, the Current News. Please, thank you so much for joining. And this is the highest point we could get on this program. And I also want to thank my guests. Thank you so much for joining me. And for my viewers, thank you so much, and bye. Till I come your way next week, bye-bye for now.